Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us here at 7. I'm Tracey McCain.
And I'm Nicole Nalepa in for Caitlin Nuclo, and you are watching Eyewitness News right here on the Wax. We are on top of that fire Marcy was talking about in Hartford that forced 13 people out of their homes. And we're going to have the latest on a shooting that took place right near the campus of Connecticut State University, that is.
All right, first, let's get you started with your first alert forecast with meteorologist Jill Gilardi. Jill, it's going to be quite different than it was yesterday.
Oh, yesterday was so gloomy,
it was.
Sleepy, all that stuff.
It already looks better behind you.
Yeah, I mean, while we have some clouds out there, we're going to have bright sunshine as well. So things are going to be working in our favor. Temperatures are going to be nice, though it is significantly colder this morning. But yesterday was a wacky start because we had 50s. That just doesn't really happen this time of year. So, of course, it's going to be, colder after a front goes through. But we have, again, some high-level clouds moving up from south to north. So a mixture of sun and clouds will be the case early this morning. And we're also tracking some high river levels. So flood warning in effect all along now the Connecticut River. So in and around this area, minor flooding is expected over the next 24 hours. All right, let's talk about these temps. It feels like winter again, but even these numbers are still above average. I mean, 28's our normal low. It's 32 in Windsor locks, but it does feel a little chillier out there because there is a breeze. But nonetheless, you're dressing for kind of those winter-like temperatures. And we'll have those scattered clouds with some sunshine, readings in the upper 40s by noon. And then with this lovely dry air in place, we warm up very quickly and sunshine will become more abundant this afternoon. And we'll get to enjoy highs in the mid-upper 50s to around 60 degrees. So much better weather out there. There is a system that, believe it or not, could bring that four-letter word, snow. Okay, I'll talk more about that a little later. All right, back to you, Caitlin.
All right, thanks, Jill. Good morning, everyone. 7:02 here on your Tuesday. If you're just waking up with us here on the Wax, we do appreciate that. If you're just getting ready to head out the door, heading to work, bringing the kids to school or the bus stop, majority of the state is looking very good here for your Tuesday morning. Live look outside in Hartford, 91 north and southbound here, right in the capital city. Traffic on the southbound side merging onto 84, slowing down just a little bit, but here in Middletown along Route 9, still very quiet as you're approaching the light. Looking good in Waterbury, 84 east and westbound by the Mixmaster, and here in Meriden along 691 east and westbound. Majority of the state looking just like this. We're not seeing really heavy delays through Hartford just yet. Give it about another, I'd say, half hour to an hour before Hartford really picks up. No crashes to tell you about here this morning, thank goodness. That daytime construction work picks up between about 8:30 and 9 o'clock, so something to be aware of. And your drive times here are all looking very good. 91 southbound towards New Haven, 84 eastbound into the capital city, still moving along. Approaching an hour-and-a-half ride, 95 southbound towards the George Washington Bridge. The Parkway backing up. Again, very typical for this time of morning. Let's quick check at your Connecticut Chevy First Alert traffic report driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
All right, let's get you back to our breaking news happening right now in Hartford, where 13 people are now forced out of their home on Sharon Street because of an early morning fire.
And your reporter, Marcy Jones, is breaking down what we know so far.
And a very different scene since we last checked in with you just about half an hour ago. I want you to take a look. We're here at 46 Sharon Street, where all the efforts were concentrated since early this morning. The chief tells us that at 3:30 this morning, that's when the call came in about a blaze they saw within minutes, because they're just down the road here, that it was sparked on the third floor. It could have spread a little bit to the second floor, but really the third is where all the damage was sustained. 13 occupants in total, all made it out safely. Only one person had to be transported to the hospital with smoke inhalation. Right now, though, all of the first responder vehicles have been cleared out. The road is back open. There is no more city bus acting as a warming station. We only have the general contractor out here to board up a lot of those windows that had to be knocked out. Right now, the fire chief tells us that they're still only looking for a cat, but again, thankfully, no injuries to any occupants, no injuries to any firefighters. The smoke has all cleared out, which was very thick this morning. It was so thick that not only could you smell it, you could actually taste it. It was getting inside of everywhere because it was just so thick, and because of those winds, it was billowing all across the neighborhood. But thankfully, a very different scene right now. Everybody is getting help from the Red Cross as well as the city, so good things to report, and hopefully they find the cat that is still missing. Sending it back to you.
All right, thanks, Marcy. And right now we are tracking developing news in Willimantic, where police are investigating a late-night shooting that took place right near Eastern Connecticut State University.
That's where your reporter, Roger Susanin, picks up our coverage.
You know, I spoke with Willimantic police over the phone a short time ago. They did not provide a whole lot of new information, but they did tell me that they will share an update with us a little bit later this morning, so stay tuned for that. I can tell you, though, investigators have been centering their search in and around this local bar and restaurant, Blarney Cafe. It's just steps away from an ECSU dorm. Now, last night, minutes after our crews arrived, we actually watched as officers taped off Blarney's Cafe, which is on High Street. We know last night Eastern Connecticut State University did send out an alert warning students and staff members about this situation, and we mentioned a residence hall is extremely close to where this all went down, although most students, we should point out, are not on campus because Eastern is on spring break at this point. Now, investigators have not told us how many people were injured, the extent of those injuries, or whether or not a shooter is in custody. Willimantic's police chief, though, has told us that detectives are still gathering more evidence, and they will again share new information with us a little bit later this morning. As soon as we get any update from Willimantic Police, of course, we will share it with you right away on air, as well as on the WFSB News app. Reporting in Willimantic this morning, I'm your reporter, Roger Suzanin, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, thanks, Roger. We also have some more breaking news this morning. In Windsor, police say that they have been responding to a commercial building right on Targeting Center for an active burglary investigation. And we have been live there all morning long. There has been an active search that was underway at one point. Our crew even said that there were drones flying in the air around the building. But we are still trying to learn more information from police. It's looking a little quiet there at this time. Of course, as soon as we get you any updates, we'll be sure to let you know on the WFSB app.
All right, 7:07 and now to news breaking overnight. Israel launches a wave of airstrikes across Gaza, killing over 400 Palestinians and threatening to fully reignite its more than year-long war with Hamas. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said he ordered the strikes because of a lack of progress in talks to extend the already fragile ceasefire with Hamas. The White House said it had been consulted and voiced support for Israel's actions. More details this morning in that horrific case of alleged abuse in Waterbury, where a man says his stepmother held him captive for 20 years, locked in a room with little food or water.
And a woman who says she is the biological mother of the man allegedly held captive is now speaking publicly. CT Insider identified the biological mom as a 52-year-old woman from Meriden, and we've reached out to her, and she gave us this statement, quote, "This was the most painful, emotional decision any mother can make, but I thought he would have a better life. For the last 30 years, my family and I have searched for him to reconnect, only to be turned away and shut out," end of quote.
We've learned the victim's father died last year, and police say the victim was left in their home with his stepmother, Kimberly Sullivan, who is now charged with assault and kidnapping, but is out on bond.
The victim was rescued back in February after he set his own room on fire so he could be found. Police body cam video you're taking a look at is something we brought you first on Channel 3, and it shows the victim being carried out by firefighters and loaded into an ambulance. And at the time, he only weighed 68 pounds. Again, he was in his 30s. Also, developing news from New Haven, where we're waiting to learn if anyone will be charged after an 8-year-old boy was killed in what police are calling an accidental shooting over the weekend. Police tell us the child was found dead in the kitchen of a home right in the Hill neighborhood Sunday night, and officers located a gun in the home, which they tell us was not properly stored. So details on what led up to the shooting have not yet been released, but police do tell us that the child's family was home at the time. Also happening today in Hartford, several state lawmakers will be taking part in what's being called a Medicaid Day of Action. Senators Chris Murphy and Richard Blumenthal, along with several House representatives, will be joining Governor Ned Lamont for a rally against any potential cuts to Medicaid. And a recent analysis by the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office found a House GOP budget proposal could not be reached without reducing spending on Medicaid. Almost 1 million residents in our state are currently enrolled in Medicaid. And we know that this event starts at 3 o'clock right on the south lawn of the Capitol building.
Well, good morning, everyone. Significantly colder outside, but still above average, except for that wind chill makes it feel actually below average. So you're dressing for it, feeling in the 20s this morning. So a little chill to the air as we go through the day. Those high wispy clouds will fade away. Temperatures in the Torrington area go from those lower 30s this morning to mid and upper 50s this afternoon. Same goes for the Hartford area. Just beautiful conditions to start off our day. Yeah, a little chill to the air, but again, nothing too extreme for this time of year. And even down towards New Haven, you'll be enjoying lovely temperatures in the mid 50s. So we're talking about warmth and then even a chance for snow. More on that coming up in just a few minutes.